Friends, I'm meteorologist Robert Speta, and let's talk about the weather forecast for the weekend, specifically here on Sunday afternoon, heading into the evening, and how that is going to impact the Daytona 500. Because this would be, if it rained out here on Sunday, 4 out of the last 6 Daytona 500s getting impacted, at least with a delay, due to rainfall, thunderstorms, what have you. And I know a lot of people are going to be heading out to that. So let's talk about it. First off, I'm expecting some showers here, moving across the Daytona area about 3 to 4 o'clock. Because of this, and because all the meteorologists watching this, and this front has been anticipated, the crew down there at the Great American Race has pushed the start time from 2:30 to 1:30. I think they're going to try to get as much in as possible before those showers do arrive. I think that it's 50% of the race needs to be completed for them to be able to actually finish it. If they do have to delay it, they would still try to finish all the laps. You paid to go there, and all the racers want to get all 200 laps in if possible. But I think it's about 50%. So they're starting a race at 1:30 now versus 2:30, so they can get as much done before those showers do arrive. And the showers will arrive. It's not one of those situations where maybe it might pop up there, not here. The rain is going to be impacting the race. And not only the Daytona area, but the entire First Coast. So that's why we have a weather impact alert in place. By the way, if you are watching us on First Coast News Plus, thank you very much. Also do want to remind you, though, that if you're watching on Facebook, please leave us a comment. I'm actually monitoring it right now, so if you do have a comment, a specific question about the race forecast or anything like that, please let me know, too, here. But I know a lot of the drivers are preparing for this, too. They have all the sports world out there getting ready for it, just due to the fact that we have that precipitation that's going to be entering into the picture here. So 79 for the high here on our Saturday, 74 on Sunday, and then you see the cool down behind that heading into Monday morning. Temperature is going to be into the lower 40s. Even some parts of southeast Georgia could be even dipping into the 30s too. So there is this big warm up. We get that cold front, and then the big cool down. Very classic springtime weather setup. So with that said, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the hour-by-hour Futurecast here, give you a breakdown of what's happening here with this. Let's loop it back here. So this is about midnight on Saturday, heading into Sunday morning. As we scoot a little bit further, this is about 8 a.m., so by the time you're heading out for breakfast, places like Waycross over towards Valdosta are going to increase in the showers, and then this line continues to push off towards the southeast and eventually moves its way into Jacksonville. Now, there is that chance of some strong to severe thunderstorms in here, even an isolated tornado, but I think the main threat is going to be this straight line winds. In fact, this whole line almost becoming a linear setup, so you don't get like these individual supercells. You're going to have basically this gust front kicking on through, followed by this quick hitting short time rain, which is going to reduce visibility out there on the roadways. And that is why we have that weather impact alert in place, due to that severe weather threat, slick roads here on Sunday, where I-95 is already going to be busy due to what's going on with the Daytona 500. So from Jacksonville towards the south, after about noontime up to about 4 or 5 o'clock, it is going to be a messy go at it. So make sure you're extra careful out there on the roadways. As we continue to watch this move on through, though, it shifts towards the southeast. So getting those showers through about lunchtime here into the Jacksonville area, and then this continues to cruise towards the south by about 1, 2 o'clock, working its way closer to the Daytona area. And the guidance actually has been picking up the pace with this earlier and earlier and earlier, which could be a good or a bad thing depending on how you look at it for Daytona. For example, if it does arrive by about 2 o'clock, and the race starts at 1, they might get a few laps in, but then it will be fast passing, and maybe they can pick up the race after an hour or so after they dry out the track. Remember, slick tires for Daytona. It's not like Indy or the 24 hours out there where they just go on no matter what the weather is. You get a little bit of slick weather out there at Daytona for the Daytona 500 with NASCAR. They immediately pause it. And watch this as it shifts further towards the south. And by 4 or 5 o'clock, this specific guidance completely clears it out. And by 6, 7 o'clock, actually clear skies filter on its way in. And then we see that big drop in temperatures with those strong northerly winds sweeping in behind that. So with that said, about 10 to 4 o'clock for the Jacksonville area, we're looking at scattered showers, widespread rain, a few stronger, potentially severe storms in your forecast. So what you need to do, especially if you are traveling out there on the roads, is drive extra carefully. Especially if you are attending Daytona, and let's see that rain comes through and they do put an indefinite rain delay, you're going to have everybody trying to leave the track there at the same time, getting on I-95 in a rainstorm. That would be the worst case scenario for travel, in my humble opinion. But based on what we're seeing right now, hopefully this comes through, it hits quick, and it moves on. So you got to deal with the rain. You bring the rain jacket, get ready to go with it, and you just kind of deal with it for about an hour or so. Stay sheltered if there is lightning, of course. Because lightning, the leading cause of weather-related deaths in the state of Florida, by the way. So always take it seriously if you do get some of those scattered showers kind of moving on through here. So one more, let's actually look at the timeline here for specifically Jacksonville. And you see the windy icon at 10 a.m.? That's that southwesterly breeze, a low-level jet almost kicking in here. That is going to help warm things up into the lower 70s, but then about noontime, the storms kick on by. And then at 2, 3 o'clock, we still have the rainfall, and then after that, things do start to clear out. So once again, we'll go back to the hour-by-hour Futurecast, give you another look at what I'm talking about here. As we look off towards the west, there's our front developing. That front is going to bring some severe thunderstorms in the form of the potential tornadoes across parts of Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi here on our Saturday. So if you're traveling west on I-10, make sure you're ready for that. And then it moves on by with that precip and then moves off towards the south and east. So some messy conditions for sure for the Daytona 500. And I can't stress enough that it's not it might hit. No, there's going to be rain likely in the middle of the race when it pushes on by. So you might be thinking, okay, I got a little deja vu here. Doesn't it feel like we've had rain delays? First off, before I get into the stats here, from 1965 to about the year 2000, there was no rain delays. It was like several decades. There was no rain delays at Daytona 500. February is traditionally one of the drier months in Florida. And it is also the Sunshine State. So, people come here and they think, okay, the weather's going to be beautiful. But coincidentally, it just feels like Daytona has a streak of bad luck. It's not these afternoon storms. Coincidentally, on these Sundays, over the last few years, we have had these cold fronts. Not exactly, but very, very much like the setup we have here for this weekend. Moves in from the northwest, moves towards the southeast. Since the year 2000, 8 out of the 24 races, or 33% of them, have been delayed. Since 2023, out of 5, or 60% of the races have been delayed. And if we get a rain delay tomorrow, which likely we're going to see, it'll be 4 out of 6, or about 60, or excuse me, more than that, upwards of about 80% of the races being delayed. 3 times the race was pushed back to Monday as well, 2012, 2020, and 24. And prior to 2012, it never was pushed to Monday. They always were able to finish it on Sunday. So, yes, if you feel like it has been a bit of deja vu recently, that is 100% correct. Recent weather delays at Daytona include that 2024, which was specifically last year. We had a 5-hour delay in 2021, 2020 delayed to Monday, 2014. There was actually a tornado warning, which forced the grandstands to be evacuated and people to shelter in RVs. Thankfully, there was not a tornado that rolled through the Daytona 500, but they did have those thunderstorms. It was a lot of rain, and that actually caused a 6-hour delay in that specific situation. And then in 2012, it was delayed to Monday, as well as 2010. We did have a 40-minute delay. So the point is, you're not wrong in thinking this has been a common occurrence recently. It actually feels like it has happened a lot more often. I got somebody's just being very specific about what the race is called. They're saying what is considered the Great American Race, the race formerly known as the Great American Race, was a classic rally car. We all know that, but I understand what you're saying, Don, but let's be realistic here with each other. When you say the Great American Race, we're talking about the Daytona 500. I know that there was a previous one that was across the country and all that good stuff, but yeah, if you hear it, I know technical and in sports world you have that, but yeah, it's a good point and it's a good question. We call it the Daytona 500, also known as the Great American Race. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I do read all these comments and everything, so thank you very much. But yeah, so for the Daytona 500, aka Great American Race, if you want to call it that. Since 2008, out of the last 24 have been rained on. And once again, we take a look at our hour-by-hour Futurecast here. And yeah, you got these scattered showers. They're going to work their way on. And one more time here, this is in the morning. So if you are traveling out to it, the earlier you leave, the better. One, to avoid the traffic, but two, to make sure you arrive before that rain really starts to set in. Over the Jacksonville area here, likely by about noontime, you're going to see that precip kick on by, and then we move this forward here about 12 to 1 o'clock. It passes overhead and then shifts towards the southeast. I do anticipate it. Looks like this timing is getting a little bit earlier at the very latest 3 o'clock arrival, but it could be as early as about 2 for the Daytona area for that initial line of precipitation to kick on through. So that is once again why we do have that weather impact alert in place for the First Coast due to the showers. So make sure you're staying weather aware here on our Sunday, not only if you're heading out to Daytona, but even if you're just chilling at home or if you have outdoor plans or you're heading out to one of our local festivals, make sure you're just staying weather aware because these storms are going to be moving in quickly, moving forward at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. So at the very least, if you don't have a tornado warning, which I don't expect, but it's possible, you're still going to have those straight line initial winds, which are going to be gusting at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. So that at the very least is going to be, blowing things around. I'm not saying power outages, but maybe some downed tree limbs. If you're outside having a picnic, your picnic is going to get launched across the field. Something like that. Make sure you're being ready and you just know all your friends are staying weather aware here. So drive carefully if you're heading out on the roads. Have indoor backup plans as well. And just stay prepared. It's that time of year. It's February. This time of year for specifically North Florida, it's kind of our severe weather season where we get these cold fronts that kick on through. Now, of course, during the summer, we have the afternoon thunderstorms. And then during late summer into autumn, we have hurricanes. But this time of year, most of the time the weather's nice, but about one every 5 to 6 days, we get these cold fronts that do bring these linear type setups where you get that just initial blast of showers, gusty conditions. It warms up nicely out ahead of it, and then behind it you get the big cool down. And in fact, the 7-day forecast, you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. With 79 degrees on our Saturday, 74 on Sunday, and then Monday we get that 60 with the big drop off down to 42 degrees. It's going to be a cool down because some inland areas could even be into the 30s with that before it gradually warm back up. And then we actually, in fact, have another low that's going to move through on Wednesday and bring widespread rainfall across the not only the First Coast but the entire Southeast. So let's say you are attending the Daytona 500 and you're visiting from out of town and you're lingering all week, and not lingering, but you're hanging out, you're enjoying the First Coast, you're enjoying Florida. Watch out because on Tuesday, but specifically heading into Wednesday, right there, Wednesday afternoon, another round of rain. So that's what I was talking about. Every few days, we get nice weather, we get a warm up, we get a low, we get a cold front. That kicks on through, brings the instability with thunderstorms in, and we get a big cool down behind that, which could drop those temperatures once again back down, as you've seen there on the 7-day, back down into the 30s by the end of the week. 34 there Friday morning for the low. So, oof, there's a big old roller coaster ride of temperatures here. So, yeah, it's that time of year, friends. That's why we have the weather impact alert in place. I wouldn't be surprised if we have another one for Wednesday. But once again, if you are just tuning in now, if you're heading out to Daytona, just be ready for that chance of increasing showers here, starting into about 2 to 3 o'clock. With some thunderstorms potentially as well mixing on in. They did move the race start from 2:30 over towards 1:30 because of those showers moving on in. I don't expect them to last terribly long, maybe an hour or so. And then on the backside of that, we can hopefully start to dry things out. But it is pretty remarkable that that if we do see this delay, which likely is going to happen, 4 out of the last 6 races, about 80% of them being rain delayed since 2020. That is just some bad luck for NASCAR and for the Daytona and the Great American Race here. So, yeah. If you have any questions, though, like I said, Don, thank you very much for chiming in. I truly appreciate that. If anybody else wants to chime in here really quick, please let me know if you're watching on our Facebook platform. If you're watching on FCN Plus as well, thank you very much. We're going to continue to have more updates on this throughout the day, as well as myself and meteorologist Lee Southwick will be here on Sunday, streaming live. If we're not already in our show, I'll be on Good Morning Jacksonville, should be on the evening show, just kind of keeping you guys posted on what's happening here with the storm system. But yeah, make sure you stay in weather aware. It's that time of year. Hopefully you have a NOAA Weather Radio and also have the First Coast News app handy on your phone, because that is one way you can get those push alerts if there are those severe storms in your neck of the woods. As always, though, thanks for stopping by, and yeah, all right, have a great day.